When the curtain rises at any theater, you feel the wind come from the other side of the curtain. And you're trying not to wobble, and when the wind comes into your face, you're like, woo, like you almost get blown over, but it's so special, that part.
The dancers don't actually move until the music has started going. And so I actually have to give them a cue because it's very hard for them to hear. It's the third measure, but it's just this long, sustained note. And then it suddenly goes, boom.
Serenade, created in 1934, was Balanchine's very first American ballet. It has been called the simplest and loveliest ballet in the world. Set to Tchaikovsky's Serenade for strings, its swirling movements and surging emotions come together in dance images that pass before us like dreams.
17 girls in lines with their hand up here. And the story I heard about that was that when Balanchine first choreographed it, he choreographed it outside. This hand here was to shade them from the sun.
I started Serenade as evening classes to show how to be on the stage. I have 17 dancers, and I placed them almost looked like orange grows in California, you know. If I had only 16 even amount, it would be 2 lines. And now people ask me, why do you place them that way? Because I have 17.
Whoever showed up, he'd choreograph on. And there was, I guess, one girl that would come one day and not the next. And so there's a runoff girl, and you see her run off. And then all of a sudden she'll run back on. I guess she was there that day, and so he choreographed her in.
We don't create, actually. We assemble what God created. See, it's already there.
There's another moment where the Russian girl, she breathes back and she spins, and she ends up on the floor. Very dramatic. He didn't choreograph that. Somebody fell at that moment. And so he was like, oh, dear, keep that in. Do that. And so to this day, we're falling on the floor.
Mr. B, George Balanchine, was constantly tweaking this particular ballet. But one thing he incorporated fairly early on was reversing the order of the third and fourth movements. When you just think of it as a musical piece, it is logical for the last movement to be the fast, showy movement. But the way he rejigs it so that this is really quite a very tragic ending, by putting the slow movement as the ending piece, is a fantastic transformation. With Balanchine, so many things start with the conductor. The most important thing that a conductor does essentially is give up beats, because there are very few pieces that stay in one tempo.
If you listen to that music, you can't help but want to move to it, do the steps that Balanchine choreographed, and really enjoy the moment.
You're like an angel or something. I don't know, you're not human. It's almost like impressionistic painting, like there's blurs to the stage of tulle everywhere.
Balanchine really gravitated to very simple costumes for a lot of pieces. His choreography didn't need all that fancy stuff.
Karinska would come in and she had light purple hair. When she'd try a costume on you, she'd take the fabric and drape it and twist it to make it fit you in a certain way. And then she would work with it and you'd have a costume at the end.
The top part's like a light blue leotard, and the bottom part is this almost floor-length tulle skirt with different panels of pale yellow and pale blue. As you move and it opens up, you can see through it and you can see the legs. It's so free. I would never dance that way if I was wearing like a tutu.
It moves after you and moves before you. It makes you want to run and move and bend when you see those skirts flying.
Serenade is really about the corps de ballet.
It's a rite of passage. You have senior corps that have been doing this ballet for 12 years. Having that kind of in the same room as you when you're new is gonna just start to give you the importance of what this is.
I remember the minute I got into New York City Ballet, stand in the wings and watch every principal dancer dancing. And I'd remember Allegra Kent doing something, and Maria Tallchief doing something, and Pat Weil dancing something. And then you take it in and say, what can I do that's mine?
When I was coming up in the company, there was Suzanne, Karen von Allerdingen, Patty McBride, Kay. She was the first one I saw in Serenade. And I'd rush the wings and watch them dance, and I'd take little things from each of them.
Kira is one of the last legendary Balanchine ballerinas. I remember vividly when I first got promoted to principal, I came to class and I'm like, I'm not the same rank as her. I felt like such a fool. It's hard to say who ends up getting in your ballet psyche, but I know that it's like this amalgamation of all of my teachers and all of the people that I've watched. They make an imprint on you, and then you discover who you are in it. As you grow older, I don't feel lost as all of my generation leaves and new people come in. It's really fun to get to dance alongside people that I've taught.
It's one of the best things is when you do a ballet on
Finding
stage
eye
and you
contact.
find the moments where you can smile at people.
That is the best part. Or I just remember we'll be backstage and be like, oh, I saw you in this part. Next time, let's smile at each other.
Yeah,
Like we know that we see each other in this one moment passing for 2 seconds, but let's make it a moment. And it's like, that's what's so special about performing with like
And you
your
need
friends.
that, 'cause
you're
you're exhausted.
You're exhausted. You're hyperventilating, and you're just like, yes. Yeah.
I think everybody's emotions were at pitch level when the curtain went up for Serenade after COVID. We could have a little sigh because ballet was back, Serenade was being danced beautifully. Maybe the world's going to be okay.
I'll never forget it.
That night was a celebration of gratitude. When the curtain went down that night, I burst into tears, like visibly sobbing, just because I think we didn't know if it was gonna happen again. It was this weird thing that it got taken away from us, and you'll never take it for granted again. I think dance is one of the most alive art forms because you can't dance forever, and someone else is gonna come along and they're gonna do their version.
It's constantly ebb and flowing in all sorts of great ways. It's a performance art. It's not a painting that's static that will always be that way.
I think youth is what you want to see up there. You want to see them putting their stamp on something and passing it on.
That is definitely something that unifies all of us. Maybe we do different roles in the ballets, but we've all gotten to be out there in that lighting, in that costume, in that space, in that theater. Serenade is about all of the other times that music has been played in that theater and all of the people that have done it before.
I love feeling that I'm part of something bigger, and there's nothing like the experience of walking into the pit, looking up at the gold curtain going, okay, we are going to change lives now, because we do. That's the nature of ballet. From the podium, I could see the first row of viewers very clearly. And of course, the stage light illuminates their faces. And to see their looks, they are so transfixed. There's absolutely joy and astonishment or awe. It's a fantastic experience.